Friends, gather round because we're diving headfirst into the wacky world of tax policy. It's more thrilling than a Trump Tower elevator ride, I promise. Our protagonist? None other than the Donald himself, back with a tax plan so bold, so audacious, it could only be described as Trumpian. Announced in January 2025, this ain't your average tweak-around-the-edges tax reform. This is full-blown, demolition derby-style tax revolution. Picture this: no more federal income tax. Gone. Instead, we're talking tariffs, baby. Those taxes on imports, they're the star of the show now. This plan is like a cheeseburger with a side of freedom fries. It's got everything: echoes of the Fair Tax Act, whispers of IRS elimination, and enough economic jargon to make your head spin. Trump claims it'll boost GDP, create jobs, and unleash the American eagle, or something like that. But hold on to your wallets, folks, because things are about to get bumpy. Let's talk tariffs, the cornerstone of Trump's grand tax scheme. See, the idea is that by slapping tariffs on goods coming from China, Mexico, or basically anyone who looks at us funny, we can generate enough revenue to kiss federal income tax goodbye. It's like your weird uncle's get-rich-quick scheme, but on a national scale. Now, economists, those killjoys who actually understand this stuff, are waving their hands frantically, warning about trade wars, higher prices for consumers, and the fact that tariffs haven't been a major revenue source since, well, before most of us were born. But hey, who needs boring old history when you've got gut instinct, right? The Tax Foundation, a bunch of numbers nerds who love crunching data, predicts this plan could blow a $3 trillion hole in the federal budget over the next decade. That's trillion with a T, folks, like the amount of hairspray Trump goes through in a week. And the national debt? Forget about it. We're talking adding another $6 trillion to the tab, like we're all ordering the lobster mac and cheese at the Trump buffet of fiscal irresponsibility. Okay, so maybe tariffs aren't the magic beans they're cracked up to be. But Trump's plan has other tricks up its sleeve. He wants to extend those juicy Tax Cuts and Jobs Act provisions, making those individual tax cuts permanent. Who doesn't love a good tax cut, right? Well, except for maybe, the government, which needs that money to do things like, keep the lights on. He's also talking about repealing the SALT deduction cap, a move sure to please folks in high-tax states like New York and California. And let's not forget about exempting overtime pay, tips, and Social Security benefits from taxation. Sounds great on paper, right? Especially if you're a waiter who works a lot of overtime and relies on Social Security, but here's the catch. While the rich are popping champagne corks over their bigger tax breaks, the poorest 40% of Americans could actually see their after-tax income drop. Remember that $3 trillion revenue hole?